The pods are open. The pods are open. The pods are back open, y'all. All right, we are back for season 4, episode 1 of Love is Blind. I'm Tammy. You are here on Tammy Talks. Y'all know how we get down over here. Every single episode gets its own dedicated recap video. So, if at any point throughout this recap you enjoy the video, hit that like button. If at any point you really enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that way you are notified each and every time one of these videos comes up, because the goal is to get all 4 recaps up at some point today. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. We're in Seattle this season. Now, the first episode is always kind of hard to recap because we're meeting everybody. Everybody's coming out, giving us a bunch of information that we might not necessarily want, but we know it's necessary to watch. All right. So what I want to do first is run through some of the people that we got. I'm not going to put all their pictures on the screen. I'll start putting pictures of the dates on the screen as we go along there, because that'll be easier. All right. So we meet Kwame. Kwame is 31 years old. He said he used to play soccer for a living. Let me move my notes over. Used to play soccer for a living, had a career ending a career ending injury. Okay. So he said he does not know if he will kind of ever get over it. But he just started a job as a head of business development for a software company. So he's excited about that. He's happy. He's content with what he's doing. He said that he was actually going to use a fake name and go by Alex because he felt that his name puts him in a very specific box. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be real about this. Him saying that him basically saying, I don't want y'all to come in and hear that my name is Kwame and automatically judge me and say I don't want to rock with a black dude. That's what he's saying. I felt it, but embrace it. Your name is Kwame. It's what your mama named you. That's what you should be going by. So he said the most important things for him in a relationship are empathy and compassion. So he said that he wants people to just accept him for who he is. He mentioned that in high school, he wasn't even allowed to pick up his girlfriend for prom at her house because he was black. So a lot of times when he's talking to people, he leads with the fact that I have a master's degree, so he looks like a very non-threatening, educated black person, and he just wants people to accept him for who he is. So he wants to do this process because he doesn't want people to see his exterior, to see his physical. He wants you to get to know his personality, his heart, his soul, his interests, all that type of stuff, and then fall in love with him then, and then when you see him, it's just a bonus. Okay? We also meet Micah. Bad vibes. Bad vibes. Not a fan. Not feeling Micah. Don't like nothing about Micah. She's going to wear me thin this season. I can feel it because we know that Heifer's going to get proposed to. So Micah is a marketing manager, and she is nervous about having to more so rely on her internal. So Micah's already telling us that, no offense to anybody, but she's a dumb blonde. That's what Micah's telling us. Micah's telling us that she's shallow. She doesn't want to have to just rely on her personality. I want you to see that I'm pretty and come after me because of that. And I can hope that my looks are going to take me where I need to go. Bad vibes from Micah. This entire episode, she was bad vibes. We meet Paul. Paul is an environmental scientist. He said that he's an analytical person, so he expected to find holes and flaws in this process, but feels that right now it's smooth. Have you watched the first 3 seasons, Paul? This is anything but a smooth process. This is anything but a smooth process. But I like Paul so far. We then meet Amber, who is a 33-year-old flight attendant. She said that modern dating is exhausting to her. She said that her look should be the least interesting part of her. Complete opposite from Micah. So she said she has been married twice. And she said that she was not appreciated in both marriages. I said, oh yeah? Okay. Amber, I got high hopes for you, sis, but something already just, I don't know. We meet Tiffany, a 36-year-old. She said that she's nervous about being her age and not finding her person just yet. She does not like, I'm sorry, she likes that she doesn't have to shift through the BS with this process. You can go in, get straight to find out a person's intentions, their goals, their aspirations, whatever you need to know about them, and know that we can move forward from there, and we don't have to cut out the middleman basically. So she said her longest relationship was 2.5 years ago. Excuse me, 2.5, and that was 10 years ago. So her longest relationship was 10 years ago, 2.5 years long. And she's always wanted to find her soulmate. So she's on a date with Brett, who is 35 years old. Brett is handsome. Brett is so handsome. He said that his longest relationship was 10 years ago, and it was for 2 years. So we evenly yoked over here. No judgment zone over here, baby. So he's looking for a partner and an equal in this process. He said that he feels that the experiment eliminates the guessing game. You can find out exactly what somebody is about most times through conversation. So he said that right now Tiffany is at the top of his list. We then meet Irina, who is 25 years old. She said she had really bad acne as a teenager and she was very insecure about it. She doesn't think that, or she didn't think that guys were going to go out with her or want to date her because of her bad acne. She said she still has the acne scars from that, and she said that her skin and her long hair doesn't make her. Your foundation is the wrong color though. Your foundation is the wrong color, Irina. Irina gives me bad vibes as well. Irina gives me bad vibes as well. So let's get into some of the dates. We start off with Zach. So Zach is a 31-year-old. He's an attorney, I believe. So he's on a date with Irina, and he tells her that he's been kind of joking around, asking other women, are they strippers? Are you a stripper? As a joke. And he said that it's time for him to, take the process serious. He's here for a reason. He's here because he wants to find love. He wants to find a wife. So he needs to be a little vulnerable, and confront his inner demons. But he's nervous about it. So Irina was like, okay, well, what's going on? He said that he was raised by his mom, who was a single mother, and she was a stripper to make sure that he had food on the table. So he said he remembers times with them going through the drive-through window and his mom just not having enough money for them to eat and watching her cry, and they struggled, okay? So he said his mom has passed away since, and he said that he's been on autopilot from then, working for his firm, top of his class, bringing in all this money to his firm, fully immersing himself into work. And on the inside, he's slowly dying. And I felt so bad for Zach. Oh, I felt bad for him. So he said he wants his life to be about serving other people. He wants a wife and kids and a family. He wants a wife and kids and a family because he wants to surround himself with that. He said in his confessional that he had people whose families judged him because of his upbringing, because of everything that he has gone through in his childhood, which is really, what's the time is? Okay. Which is really shitty, because why are you judging somebody because their mother was a stripper to provide for them? Like, people are awful. People are awful. So he just wants somebody that's going to love him because of who he is as a person, not because of the way that he was raised. And I'm on your side so far, Zach. So far, I am on your side. Zach is handsome as well. So Irina said that she moved here to the United States from Russia when she was 3 or 4 years old. Her parents had no money, but they have a lot of good memories. So she said for her, Christmas not having any toys or any presents, that was kind of the norm. But her parents wanted to make sure that they had like a good family unit and they had good memories to follow up with that. So we have Irina, who then goes, bad vibes, telling y'all. She goes, lays down on the couch in the women's quarters, and Bliss is sitting on the couch by her. She turns and asks Bliss, so are you here to sabotage my love life? Bliss was like, who, me? And that would have been me. Me? I haven't even said anything. So Bliss was like, I would never do anything to purposely sabotage you. And I like that she said purposely because we're all dating. You guys are all dating the same men at this point. So at some point, y'all are going to end up going on dates with the same men. You might have a connection. You might end up saying something to someone else, something like that. But she said, I'm not here to purposely, I am not going to purposely sabotage you. And that was the important part out of that statement. So we get right after that, we get Zach and Bliss on a date. So Zach tells her that when it comes to intelligence, she is a 10. Okay. She says she works in cybersecurity. Even though she went to school for biology, she works in cybersecurity. So his favorite song ends up being the same song that her mother would like kind of always dedicate or like sing to her. So they have this like serendipitous moment where so many things for them are aligning and lining up. I actually like them together. We haven't seen a lot of them together in this first episode, but I like them together. I have no issues with them. So we then pan over to Tiffany and Brett. So they are low-key matching. She has on like an emerald green, bluish, teal, turquoise, whatever type dress, which matches his shirt. So he wants to know more about her. He wants to know about her story. So she gives some stuff, some background about her family and stuff. Brett then said that he started to notice his family finances start to change a little bit. So they stopped having, enough money. They ended up not having power for about a week. And he said they have friends that still want to like come over and hang out because kids don't know. And him and his brothers were like, no, we'll come to you. You know what I mean? So he said that at one point he started posting designs of shoes on Instagram because that was a hobby of him, like designing shoes. And it ended up with him being noticed by Nike and him now becoming like a design director for Nike. I said, what? That is crazy. Kudos to him. Tiffany says in her confessional, and right now, from what we can see, she's our only sister on the show. But Tiffany said that if she would have met him out at a bar or something like that, she would have judged him for not having a degree. So this man gives you this inspiring story about how, aside from his family not having power, you even take that part of it out, right? This man is telling you that I posted some designs of some stuff on Instagram, got discovered by Nike, and now I am the design director for Nike, the biggest shoe company in the world. And you would judge him for not having a degree? It's so sad that we live in a world and society has us so conditioned that we feel that people have to have a degree, that even somebody that has this level of success, we would still basically frown upon them and judge them. It's sad. It's very, very sad. Very sad. So we get Chelsea and Kwame. They have a date about making love and connecting from the soul and all this other type of stuff. Chelsea goes back to the women's quarters. And, for the most part, a lot of the ladies are cool with each other. And she's telling the ladies about this. And she's like, I don't want to talk about this in front of everybody because I don't trust her. Pointing at Micah. Told y'all she's bad vibes. I told y'all she is bad vibes. So we then get to Kwame and Micah having a date. Kwame tells her, off rip, he has a strong connection with somebody else, presumably Chelsea. And he says that, you know why? Because she assures me that she wants to be with me. She validates, she reciprocates my feelings. She does all these things that are like the way that you want this process to go. They're connecting, they're sharing, they're engaging with one another. That's how you want this process to go. So the fact that I'm getting that out of her, I have a strong connection with her. Micah, what? Micah said, I guess I just don't understand how you can have a strong connection with her when we have a connection. What? What? So Kwame said, well, she validates me more. She reciprocates vocally. If I tell her that I'm feeling her, she says it back to me. We're engaging and letting each other know how we feel about each other. I'm not getting that from you. So he then asks her, okay, so how do you feel if I were to say that we have something that could last and stand the test of time? Micah said, yeah, I can see a future with us. Sure. Yeah. No, you can't. No, you can't. You just don't want Chelsea to get him. No, you can't. You can't. So he then tells her that he is absolutely so sure about her and that he wants to propose earlier. Now, Kwame, this is where you lost me. Because, like, do you like her or do you like Chelsea? Because you can't come in and tell her I have a stronger connection with somebody else than turn around and say, but I think I'm very sure of you. What's going on here? What's going on here, y'all? So Micah then said that Kwame said he wants to propose earlier, said he's smitten with her, with Micah, and finds himself wanting to talk to Micah all day. Can't wait to get to the pods to talk to her. Micah then said that she's holding back because the other person that she's talking to is a slow burn connection. Girls, and what the fuck do you care that Kwame has a connection with somebody else if you're sitting here with a connection with somebody else too? This is what gets me so mad about some of these people on here. He was honest and told you, I got a connection with somebody else. This is what she's doing, XYZ, that you're not. If you are feeling this way, rock and jock with me, let me know. For you to get offended by that, but then turn around and say, but yeah, I got a slow burn with somebody, so, I can't be all in with you. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, Micah then said that she's worrying about, them linking up, getting serious, and her having a what if moment outside of the pods for the other person. She doesn't want them to move too fast. So you want him to be all in with you and not have another connection. Meanwhile, you have a bunch. Micah, kiss my ass, girl. Go to hell. Go to hell. So then Micah tells him she is falling for him and doesn't want him to tell anybody else because you're lying. You are not falling for Kwame. You're not. You're not falling for Kwame. You just don't want him to be done with you because you want to make sure that you have a backup plan. So then after this, Micah immediately runs back to the women's quarters and tells Irina that he wants to propose earlier to me, but then says she doesn't want to give him validation yet because she'd rather leave her single than in a rushed relationship. Y'all, Micah gonna be something else. She's going to be something else. So we pan over to Brett and Tiffany. They are on another date. Brett tells this story about how his brother passed away before his wedding. So he said they had literally started trying on tuxes and stuff like that. One morning, his brother's fiance called him and was like, hey, have you talked to so-and-so? And he said he's a very optimistic person. So he was like, no, maybe he just didn't get to his phone. So he ended up going to work, carrying on with his day as normal. And his brother's fiance calls him and says, you need to come home. Very stern, very straightforward, kind of monotone voice. He then gets a phone call from another one of his brothers that is crying and saying he's gone. And come to find out, his oldest brother was driving his car, somehow lost control, ran off the road, presumably passed away in a car accident, which is extremely, extremely sad. That is, oh, good God, that is terrible. So he tells Tiffany he sees a future with her, but he's worried that they'll have this great relationship and something will happen and then it'll just be gone, and he doesn't want that pain again. So he's almost scared that what happened with his brother and his fiance is in some way, not the exact same way, but in some way, life changes in the blink of an eye. Anybody can be gone in the bat of an eye, right? So he's scared of that happening. So he's probably guarding himself and closed off his heart because he does not want to go through that type of pain that he's once experienced and that he's seen loved one experiencing. He said, because we were planning to, our family to be at this joyous occasion, and it ended us not planning a wedding, but now planning a funeral. So she tells him that, I get that you're afraid and I'm scared too, but she is going to try her hardest to make this work, and that she's willing to go out on a limb with him and to do this. So I like them together. They're cute. They genuinely seem to like each other too. It's not a bunch of, well, if you don't like her, I'll come over here, or the connection. Like, they are both kind of all in with each other. So we then pan over to Amber and Paul. So Paul is saying how Amber has good sexual and social energy, which is everything you want in a partner. So they're having like back and forth banter. She asks him if he's nervous that he would not like what she looks like. He said, absolutely not. Nope, not a chance. She said that she talks about one of her marriages. She said that she got married and he immediately got with somebody shortly after. And she said that she does not want to be jaded. She still has her heart open. She is still ready for the love that she deserves. So she thinks that there is always a reason that someone cheats. And he was like, oh, red flag. I said, I know that's right. We don't excuse cheating, sis. We don't make excuses for cheating. And he gets quiet. And then she like quickly tries to clean it up. And she's like, no. I'm not saying I would cheat. I would leave before I did the cheating. And he's like, yeah, I would. That's what you're supposed to do. So now it's kind of tense. It's awkward between the two of them. And while she's laying on this couch here, she's like, I feel anxious now. Yeah, because you made a boneheaded statement. you made a stupid statement. And now you feel like he's judging you. But he tells her that he loves who she is. Whatever. Back in the women's quarters, we see Irina and Micah are being messy. Amber comes back and she has all these things. They did like a little Mardi Gras date. And some of the, like, Irina's like fugazi ass was hyping her up. These flowers are gorgeous. They're beautiful. Like, wow. Woo. But then she turned around with Micah and it's like, oh my God, that is so fucking corny. Don't that look like some lame shit they would do? She was being real funny acting. Irina and Micah, got my eyes on y'all. Both of you. I don't trust neither one of y'all. So then, Paul and Micah, they have a date. And Paul feels that he is going to fall in love. He said it's going to be stupid. And like, I don't know why he said the stupid part. But then Micah was like, oh, because it'll be with Amber. Paul then said he likes the idea of him and Micah together. Micah said that if she felt like he was all in with her, she would be all in with him and she would want to move forward and do the same. That's crazy because you were just saying how you would be all in with Kwame. You're telling Kwame that you're falling for him, but if this guy tells you he will be all in, I don't want to say it, y'all, but I'm going to say it. I feel like Micah is having pause because Kwame is clearly black. I'm sorry, I'm going to just say it. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. Because it's like she doesn't want anybody to know that she's feeling Kwame, because don't tell anybody. But with Paul, it's like, if you're all in, I'll be all in too. So Paul asked her, who do you see yourself saying yes to? Me or Kwame? She says it's clear to her that it's him. I said, did we miss a bunch of conversations? I don't see a slow burn between the two of them. So Micah then pressures him to tell Amber right away that night that the two of them are going to be exclusive. They're going to do this. We're going to do, we're going to rock and jock with each other. So let her know tonight. Be done with her. You like, let her know tonight, right away at the beginning of the date. And then he's like, man, that's tough. And he's like, she's not going to take it well. And Micah said, oh, and she smirks. That's why I got that picture. She smirks because I don't think Micah likes Paul. I think Micah feels that she looks better than Amber. She's prettier than Amber. She probably feels that she's better than Amber. And because of that, I don't want you to for 1 second think that you can take a man from me that I want. That's the energy Micah's giving. And it's nasty. It's very nasty energy. So the final date of the episode is Brett and Tiffany. Now, let's keep in mind, Tiffany has a bottle of Casamigos sitting on that table, and it's not like she drank half a bottle, but she's a couple shots to the wind. So Brett gives her a gift, and it's like a model of one of the first shoes that he ever designed. And he said that it represents a beginning for him, like a new beginning. So Tiffany feels like she is already starting to fall in love with him. He gets quiet. He said because it's not a word that he's heard before. Like he's never been in love. So he then tells her he feels that they are the perfect match. And he mentions like something with love. And he's waiting for her to respond. And she doesn't. So it looked like he's getting ready to cry. And he's like, Tiffany, Tiffany. Meanwhile, the camera pans over to her. She is knocked. You know why? Because she had them shots. She had them shots. I'm a person, if I'm taking shots, don't let me lay down with a cover and in a pillow. Because I'm going to be asleep too. So he goes back to the men's room and he tells them that she fumbled at the 1 yard line. They were having a conversation about, the start of talking about falling in love. And she never responded back. So he was like, I'm done. I said, don't be done. Don't be done. You got to give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, should Tiffany have been laying down? Probably not, girl. We got to sit up when we're talking. But she fell asleep. He didn't hear her. She didn't snore. Production couldn't just be like, she's asleep. But I hope they work it out. But Tiffany's going to feel uber bad about herself the next morning when she wakes up and she's still in the pod. And then when she tries to go on a date with Brett and he refuses. Let me know what you guys thought about it. If you have made it this far, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Catch you guys for the next episode.